तिनक धिन धागे न 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 तिनक धिन.
Every day I wake, I make my mind up. I'ma be the one, be the truth, be the way. Yeah. Every day I wake, I make my mind up. Gotta keep my mind on the because they only telling their side of the story. Out here telling lies like they on Maury. Them poor rich kids get their money on phone it. But down here in the hood, yeah, we know Forex. We growing up, yeah. We got the good. Good of them assets, good of my bag. Get rid of cash before the whole market crash. A news flash, just a blast from the past. We on the smash, be prepared to hit the gas. Yeah.
Build a land, get the wealth, change your name up. Get the title in your hands, put your game up. Melanation, elevation, arise. We the vibe, blood eye, yeah, we travel.
Used to be happy was sad. Oh, something happened along the way, and yesterday was all we had. And oh, after the love has gone, how could you leave me on and not let me stay around? After the love has gone, what used to be right is wrong. Can love that's lost be found? La da da, ooh, for a while. Oh, love each other with all. And if ever needed, love was strong for so long. Never knew that what was wrong, but maybe wasn't right. Ooh, we tried to find what we had till outside this was all we shared. We were scared. We said farewell, leave our love into. Oh, something happened along the way. What it used to be happy and sad. Something happened along the way, and yesterday was all we had.
Already thinking about death. Damn, I was raised by the dead end. Well, fake ass niggas always trying to fit in. Ambition, I'm young and ambitious. The dreams that I have, I'm a dreamer man living. How can I call them feelings when no one else feel it? How can I play my cards when no dealer to deal it? I'm just living with patience, dedication, and greatness. How can I be good when the hood so much validation? I wish my grandma was still here to watch me grow up. I wish both people still here to watch me blow up. I guess things never go how you want it to, so I don't wanna be the man. I'm going to.
Yo, peace to the party. It's your homeboy back again with the news. Hey, look, y'all. It's going crazy in Atlanta, Georgia once again, man. So we got to talk about some corruption within the judicial system. Surprise to some, another story for many of us who've been on this trail, right? But this one is going to be pretty interesting because it's about a lesser known court, but it affects the average everyday citizen. And as we go along through this journey, because we're going to break down this journey of Christina Peterson out of Douglas County. All right. So she's a probate. Well, she was a probate court judge. All right. So if you're not familiar with what a probate is, it handles marriages, wills, birth certificates, death certificates, among a few other things. So your average everyday citizen will have some type of interaction with this office. All right. So now it's safe to say it's pretty important, right? But I bet you most people don't know is this is one of the most egregious courts against the citizens in the way in which it robs the people. But you know, I'm just your homeboy with the news, so you ain't got to take my word for it. We're going to go over here and take it to the other side. We're going to walk down this journey. Now, some of these videos are going to reiterate some of the other charges, but I want to make sure it hit home and that y'all catch on to what's going on. And in the comments, if you've been through this or had somebody go through this, I want you to chime in as we go through this, because it's very important that we understand what's going on. So let me take it over here to screen 3, and we're going to see what it's hitting for.
You're going to end up paying between 1 and probate court is such a scam.
What do you mean by scam?
Well, you're going to end up paying between 1 and 4% of the estate value in court fees. Let's say you die and your family goes through probate court. All your assets are going to be tied up for 6 to 24 months, and your family won't have access to them. And they're going to pay about 1 to 4% of your estate value in court fees.
But what if you have a will?
Doesn't matter. Even if you have a will, you're still screwed. What you need to do is you need to put your assets in a living trust and name your inheritors as the beneficiaries of that trust. If you enjoyed this clip,
free game. Here we go.
How big a paycheck a newly elected judge should be getting.
Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis says taxpayers won't be paying the judge as much as she wanted, but still more than some elected leaders feel that she deserves.
Okay, so just so we on the same page, this was 2 years ago when she was first newly elected.
I'm looking for fairness across the board.
And for soon-to-be Douglas County probate judge Christina Peterson, fairness would be to make $175,000 a year, around what the superior and state court judges in Douglas County are getting.
It's not being fair and consistent. I have those same qualifications as everyone else.
Forget that she's never been a judge before, and the probate judge's job is mainly to process wills, birth certificates, and marriage licenses. The man she's replacing made $96,000 a year.
She knew what the pay was when she signed up to run.
The issue was so contentious in Douglas County that the chief judge of Superior Court offered his opinion before the budget vote, sending commissioners this letter listing the small number of probate court cases, 647, compared to the caseload for all the other courts.
It's not fair to compare that court to the other judges.
But commissioners would do just that, voting 3-2 that since Peterson is an attorney and her predecessor is not, she deserved a supplement.
So make sure you understand what was just said. She's an attorney, and the person that held the office before her was not. So you may be asking yourself, how would someone who's not an attorney become the probate judge? I would say that's a good question.
Of $36,688 to go with her state-mandated $88,110 a year salary. She'll make at least $124,000 a year.
We have a 3-2 vote on the motion carries.
But that's not all. State law allows the probate judge to keep any fees paid for birth and death certificates. This year in Douglas County, that added up to more than $70,000. Retiring Judge Hal Hamrick kept half, returning the other half to the general fund. Judge Peterson says she will keep it all, meaning if that fee amount repeats next year, her actual pay could rise to as much as $194,000. That would be more than any other judge in the Douglas County Courthouse.
This is a sham. This is a shame for Douglas County. It is a dark day in Douglas County.
We reached out to Commissioner Ann Jones-Guider, one of the 2 no votes. She's afraid other constitutional officers will also insist on county supplements to their salary.
It's going to come back to bite us. I think Pandora's box has been opened then.
Peterson also stands to make far more than her fellow probate judges in nearby counties with similar populations. They're attorneys too. And in Paulding County, that judge also handles traffic court. Judge Peterson's office does not have that responsibility. Commissioners also gave Peterson 2 additional employees. In an email, Peterson told me she knew what her predecessor made, but she was, quote, negotiating her compensation package. She would not explain why an office with such a small caseload could justify such a big salary. I'm Randy Travis, Fox 5 News.
Okay, so let's talk real quick now. So right off the dump, never held a position before she's takes the office, she say right off the bat she want to negotiate. She want the highest salary for anybody to ever do this. So I know some of y'all gonna say, oh man, why they hating on the sister? Why they checking her pockets, this, that, and the third? Now, I want to see if you still feel this way as we go through this, but I want you to understand. So this is how the narrative was laid. She was already using, I'm a lawyer. Because once again, we talked about how you can hold this office without being a lawyer, which is crazy in itself because you hear how they get to keep the fees. They're keeping the fees off of these. It's not like you got the probate judge out here promoting their office for you to come get your will or your marriage certificate at their particular office. So why do they deserve to be able to get kickbacks off of the fees, right? Why wouldn't it go back to the people? That don't make no sense. Peace to you, Ms. Angela. But yeah, so it's crazy. So walk with me now. That's her taking office right when she get in. So you think, oh boy, she must be a hellified judge if she asking this. She just know her worth, right? That's a popular thing, that she know her worth. All right, well, let's go see.
Judge faces trouble.
Okay, so the first video, that was 2 years ago. Now this is 6 months later.
For some social media posts she made before she took office. The state's Judicial Qualifications Commission charged probate judge Christina Peterson with violating the Code of Judicial Conduct.
Fox 5 team reporter Randy Travis says the allegations involve then-Judge-elect Peterson asking for cash gifts, promoting private restaurants, and making, quote, inappropriate sexual commentary.
I, Christina J. Peterson,
Do solemnly swear or affirm.
do solemnly affirm.
Christina Peterson has only been a judge 6 months, but already she faces allegations she's brought, quote, disrepute upon her office. In a filing from the Judicial Qualifications Commission, the group that investigates complaints against judges, Peterson is accused of using her social media account to solicit cash donations for her birthday.
Public solicitation of gifts to a judge is extraordinarily problematic.
Michael Broyd teaches professional ethics at Emory Law School.
I would like to have a case in front of a judge who I've made a cash gift to. Wouldn't you?
Peterson qualified to run for probate judge in March 2020. She won the primary election in June and had no opposition in the November election. According to the JQC complaint, on her birthday last August, Peterson posted this on her official Christina J. public Instagram page. A picture of herself wearing a birthday tiara and listing her Cash App account. Quote, if anyone feels like sharing their quarantine wealth.
Boy, you can't make this up. You can't make this up.
When JQC investigators contacted the judge this year, the complaint says Peterson explained she thought that post was to her private personal page, and I was wondering on that day why I was getting Cash App from people I didn't know.
Man, cut it out, bro. Who believed that? Who believed that?
The JQC said in her Instagram bio, Peterson called herself Judge-elect.
If it was done in public, it's a cardinal violation, which is an intolerable activity for a judge to do. A judge cannot stand up and say, I'm a judge, send me money.
Even if she wasn't on the bench yet when she made that post?
Yes.
The complaint also says Peterson used her judge-elect status to encourage people to visit 2 restaurants. And on her Twitter page, she recorded a video offering relationship advice.
Bruh, so she a club promoter and she a Kendra G on the side.
Advice, calling someone a, quote, homeless sexual, and making reference to, quote, African-American male genitals. The JQC called it, quote, inappropriate sexual commentary. Judge Peterson did not reply to repeated requests for comment from the Fox 5i team.
I'm grateful that the people of Douglas County elected me to serve as their probate judge. That is a big thing.
Peterson already generated controversy before she took office, convincing commissioners to pay her more than her predecessor because he was not an attorney and she is. Peterson now collects $124,000 a year. Combine that with the money she's allowed to keep from fees paid for documents like marriage and birth certificates, and Peterson could make more than a state Supreme Court judge. Now those same justices will decide whether the JQC allegations are true, and if so, what kind of punishment Judge Peterson should face. Randy Travis, Fox 5 News.
So you see here, right? So we got, she gets elected, then within 6 months, they already lodging complaints, and then they bringing up the fact that she was promoting herself as the judge-elect and throwing events at the club, right? She out here goddamn swag surfing with some lamb chops at brunch. You know how they do in the A now. Come on. So she promoting herself in that way. Then you go on now on Instagram, on the ground, throw your thirst trap up there to get folks to hit your cash out. Then when these people come check you about it, you say, oh, it was a mistake. I ain't know that was to my personal page. Come on now, man. We got to cut it out. And you put judge-elect in there. So once again, some of y'all still may be on the fence. Oh, they hating on her. They hating on her. They just coming after her because she getting paid. All right, make sure you hold that thought, and we going to keep going. So they steady kept, as the updates kept coming, we walking through this journey. So like I said, this was 6 months after. So this is 1 year ago right here I'm about to play now.
During a homeowners association meeting has Douglas County probate judge Christina Peterson in more legal hot water.
Peterson already faces complaints from a state regulatory board, which asked but failed to get her temporarily suspended from office last year.
Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis returns with more on his investigation. Randy?
That's right, Russ and Courtney. Peterson has only been in office a year and a half. Already she faces 50 counts. That's 5-0, accusing her of violating the Georgia Code of Judicial Conduct.
You can make it right.
The March meeting was supposed to be a friendly town hall for the residents of the Silver Creek Ranch neighborhood in Douglas County. Then Christina Peterson began speaking, repeating her demand the board be thrown out and make way for a special election.
You have the ability to call a special election to give the homeowners the opportunity to come, congregate, nominate, and elect their own board.
So I can only go by our legal, it's not third party.
The probate judge knows what she's talking about. Listen to her. She got 2 pending lawsuits against us right now.
The angry reaction to Peterson stems from a lawsuit she and others filed in 2017 against the HOA that led to a $70,000 settlement. According to a complaint filed against her by the Judicial Qualifications Commission, Peterson never shared that money with her clients.
Do solemnly affirm.
It's one of 50 counts of alleged misconduct Peterson now faces.
You're going to follow the law. Do what the Supreme Court tells you to do. How about you pay attention to that? Why you stole the $70,000 from your plaintiffs? Give them their money.
If you're suing and you're getting money or you're taking something from this community, I don't think you should be speaking out like that. Don't take nothing from somebody who ain't got nothing. So
you're going to continue to be not have anything you don't follow the law.
The JQC accused Peterson of violating the Code of Judicial Conduct in the meeting by advising the HOA that they are getting bad advice from their legal counsel. You're an attorney. Would you start to negotiate with the other side's clients when you knew that they were represented?
I think the issue with this is that for a judge, you don't give up your right to speak or to talk. And I don't know that this was a negotiation.
Call a special election. I will dismiss the lawsuit.
Well, now we're up to 50 counts. That sounds like a lot.
It sounds like a lot because they keep adding and adding and adding counts because they utterly failed in trying to get her interim suspended last year.
I felt like we was walking into a trap.
Last year, Peterson ordered this woman jailed for contempt of court after she asked to change her father's name on her marriage license. PJ Skelton only learned of her real father's name after the wedding, but Peterson decided she had lied when she filled out the original form. So you guys thought it was just going to be an easy paperwork change?
The easy fix. If I known, to be honest with you, if I known that she would have went to jail behind this, I would have told her just forget about it.
The JQC said Peterson failed to respect and comply with the law. She has denied the allegations. But that's not the only marriage where Peterson finds herself in trouble.
You cannot go in this building, and eventually she went in.
The Fox 5i team also revealed how Peterson ignored safety rules by allowing the public into the courthouse for weekend wedding ceremonies when no deputies were assigned to the security checkpoint. The JQC said she did this despite being told no by the sheriff's office. Did the judge put anybody at risk that day?
She put all of the employees that work in this courthouse and the citizens who would come that Monday morning at risk.
Peterson's attorney, Lester Tate.
Bruh, so she letting folks rent out the courthouse for a venue for weddings and the after party, bro, and the reception. Tell me this ain't crazy now.
Once served on the JQC, he said he's never seen a case with so many counts.
If they had something that was serious enough to be removed from the bench, one count was sufficient to do that. It's just bizarre to me that they want to continue adding to it, but it's also abundantly clear to me that the reason they do is because they feel like they don't have enough to prevail.
The neighborhood HOA president, Derek Houston, said his attorney would not let him talk on camera. But as for Peterson, he said, quote, "I thought her actions were disruptive and her comments were totally unprofessional and inappropriate." And by the way, the neighborhood is going to have their annual meeting and election next month. So that may take the wind out of the sails of the judge's lawsuit against her neighborhood.
Okay. Yeah, you told us that she faces 50 counts of violating judicial conduct code. How's that possibly going to be resolved?
It's a lot of counts, isn't it? I'm told that they have to do discovery now, and it may be a while before the case actually gets to the state Supreme Court. A lot of times these cases get resolved, they get settled. I'm not sure that's going to be the case with this one.
Yeah, it sounds like this is not the last we're going to hear about this one.
No, in fact, who knows? I mean, there could be some more counts. I'll let you know if there are.
All right. Randy, thanks.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Randy. So check this out. You heard what Randy say. Yeah, she damn sure a renegade, Kofi. So check this out. You heard him say that typically these cases get settled out. Why? Because they be wanting to protect these judges, because if something happens and they prosecute them, then there's precedence within law. Remember, we talking about legal professionals, people. So they know that if they prosecute one of their own, it opened the floodgates for everybody else. Now, I'm going to get to the backstory and what's the whole synopsis in this, but I want y'all to walk this trail because I want to remove the whole racism and all this that a lot of our people going to try to play, right? This lady is, you see, these folks that's filing complaints and doing things is people that look like us, man. It's not just white people, so we got to cut that out. We just got to be unbiased to the facts and make our own judgment. These are people that hold public office. They ain't absolved from scrutiny, man. We just got to keep it real. So that was a year ago. 50 counts. These 50 counts could be trumped up, but clearly something going on, right? So right after that, let's hear what the Supreme Court had to say about this.
An extraordinary development tonight in the long-running investigation into Douglas County Judge Christina Peterson.
In a rare move, a hearing panel decided Peterson is guilty of, quote, systemic incompetence and should not remain in office. Fox 5i team reporter Randy Travis explains.
Judge, you want to take a break?
Christina Peterson did not do herself any favors during 7 days of hearings beginning last September. The JQC hearing panel's report criticized her for not taking any responsibility for the 30 counts of judicial misconduct lodged against her.
I just don't have a memories of my dad. I don't know who he is.
The most troubling, wrote the panel, Peterson's decision to jail this woman for trying to amend her marriage certificate to include the real name of her recently discovered father.
Did you go to this hearing with any idea that you may be going to jail?
No.
PJ Skelton served 2 days of a 20-day jail sentence for contempt before her husband could pay a $500 fine. Such a hasty and shockingly disproportionate reaction is the hallmark of Peterson's intemperance, wrote the panel. The report criticized Peterson's attempt at this meeting to get her HOA board to settle a lawsuit she had filed, even though she knew the HOA was represented by an attorney. Peterson's attempts to avoid responsibility for these clear violations bordered on the farcical, severely eroding her credibility with the hearing panel.
You cannot go in this building, and eventually she went in.
The sheriff's office said Peterson ignored their orders and held a wedding after hours, allowing people inside without deputies present. She once hit a panic button when a deputy was late escorting her to court, causing a temporary panic among security. And when county staff criticized her actions, it quickly triggers allegations of obstructionism or even racism. These communications and actions reveal a judge who publicly vilifies colleagues, is quick to threaten them with unnecessary legal action, and generally projects a spiteful and vainglorious persona.
I'm the first African-American female and Democrat.
See, here they go with the tears. You hear talking about she a Democrat, first African-American. Listen to these key phrases now to garner support from the community. Oh, hold on. I took it back. Let me get this back right.
Projects a spiteful and vainglorious persona.
I'm the first African-American female and Democrat. Yes. I was never celebrated or congratulated. The first, on my day of swearing in, I was sworn in by Judge Emerson. I received my first JQC complaint.
So how you was never appreciated? They gave you the highest salary of anybody in the area, bro. Come on now. Make it make sense.
Peterson's main defense was her inexperience as a judge, a problem she promised has been addressed through additional training. But the panel was not buying it. The report also cited multiple examples of failure to actually do her job, needlessly delaying petitions before her office. The hearing panel said Peterson was guilty of systemic incompetence. Judges are expected to act in a manner that promoted the integrity and impartiality of the judiciary. Respondent has shown that she cannot or will not do so, and so she must go.
Peterson has 20 business days to file exceptions to this report with the Georgia Supreme Court. They're the ones who will ultimately decide whether to take the recommendation to have her removed from office. I talked to her attorney, Lester Tate. He told me they disagree with the recommendation and they will take it to, quote, the next level. At the live desk, Randy Travis, Fox 5 News.
So this is where we at right now. So she go through, she get in office, right? Highest salary in her area. Remember, it's already written in that she can get the fees. She can get the fees off of whatever business that she does, mainly off of birth certificates, marriage certificates, any other fees that are associated. They ain't gonna want to tell us all of them. All right, so she can rack up bukus of money. Whole time, they're saying that she not only was doing that, which that part was legal, right? But then now you got a lot of stuff going on. You acting, you promoting clubs, all while using your office as a judge to promote yourself. That's the real conflict of interest here, right? When do you see judges out throwing parties and doing shit like this, telling everybody they the judge as the reason why to come mess with their event or to put them in movies? Come on, it's that Black Hollywood stuff, man. The culture got us gone, but peep this here. So you see that there. So this was what, 2 months ago. Now this is breaking news as of yesterday. Man, check out old Christina, man. See, she out here out her body.
Arrested at a DeKalb or a Buckhead nightclub. I'm Alan Devlin.
And I'm Savannah Louie. The Douglas County Probate Court judge is out of jail, and now she's ready to tell her side of the story. Atlanta News First anchor Tori Cooper is live in Douglas County outside the judge's courthouse. Tori, you were the only reporter who spoke with her tonight.
I spoke with Judge Christina Peterson tonight at her home, and she told me that she's still healing from what happened between her and police last night. But before this, Judge Peterson was involved in a different investigation that got her in trouble with a state panel. Last night, Douglas County Probate Judge Christina Peterson was arrested outside the Red Martini Lounge in Buckhead. Atlanta police have not publicly released their report into what happened, But jail records show Peterson is now charged with simple battery against a police officer and felony willful obstruction of law enforcement by threats and violence. Some of Judge Peterson's neighbors who did not want to go on camera say this news caught them off guard.
Well, I figured she had to have a reason for something happening.
But other neighbors tell a different story about Judge Peterson's conduct. One of them told me off camera Peterson sued her when she was the president of the Homeowners Association, and she's still going through that litigation now. Court documents show Judge Peterson was investigated for taking action against the HOA.
The head of HOA, she wouldn't release her position, and the only way to get her down was to get signatures.
A $70,000 settlement was eventually reached, but neighbors named as plaintiffs in the suit alongside Judge Peterson allegedly never received their share of the settlement money, but Judge Peterson did. Judge Peterson was also investigated and accused of violating courtroom security protocol and disrupting courtroom operations, among other things. But some of her neighbors still have her back.
She's pretty fair with everything.
Now, Judge Peterson plans on holding a press conference tomorrow at 2 p.m. alongside her attorney, but Judge Peterson has limited time left on the bench anyway because she lost her re-election bid in the May primaries. Reporting live in Douglasville, I'm Tori Cooper, Atlanta News First.
So let me summarize where we at with it. So all these allegations, everything going on, she lost the re-election, so regardless of what's going to happen, which nothing's ever going to come of this anymore because she lost re-election. Now, if she would have won, I think maybe it's possible a suspension or some charges could have came down. But since she lost, I bet they just going to chalk this up and let it be. And you can see she's spiraling out of control. You in the club having altercation, man. You know what I'm saying? They must ain't trying to book you no more. They ain't got no respect on your name. She probably act a fool. But check this out, though. I want to be clear about something on the picture that I'm trying to paint right here. Because I know a lot of people in our culture, they're going to attribute her situation to either racism or sexism. But I'm going to be real with you. It ain't about either one. Really, this is highlighting the system that was set up to take advantage and deceive the citizens, man. And the probate court is one of the most egregious at doing this because it get people in their most vulnerable state. Typically, if you're going to deal with probate, you're dealing with the death of a loved one, you're dealing with a birth, you're dealing with a marriage certificate, all of these different things that bind you to the state, to your county, to your parish. Whole time, they're right out telling you that the fees are going to certain individuals. How are you the person? Isn't it a conflict of interest to say that the more fees you get, the more money that you make? Meaning that how do we know everything is on the up and up on what you charging if it go directly into your pocket, bro? And this ain't no Georgia thing. This ain't no black woman thing. This is just really highlighting that, you know, in our people, we always think that if they want us, then they really want us. Nah. Them days long over. It never was like that. You got people on good and bad sides of all colors, bro. But I'm going to break it down and show you. Homeboy with the news, you know I got you. So we go here, you know, it's better. We heard black people in this position, but this ain't just her. This bigger than her. It's Nino Brown. You feel me? This bigger than her. Even though what she did was egregious, I ain't letting her off the hook. But the reason why they highlighting her, because I believe she was too flashy. She was doing too much with it, drawing attention to their whole play. They didn't want folks knowing about this, right? So I do believe she may be a scapegoat of sorts, but this ain't nothing new. So I'm going to take you to the C-SPAN. Let them folks break this down to you so you know I ain't just talking. So hold on real quick. I want you to see it. This is a systematic problem, all right, that's really going on to rob the people. Let me take it over here to screen 3 real quick, and we're going to rock.
The cab or a bus.
Wrong one. Here we go. All right, let's do it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Senator Blumenthal.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairwoman. This topic is immensely important. Many of us in this room will encounter this situation. In Connecticut, guardianship or conservatorship decisions are made by a local probate court judge who is elected and need not be a lawyer. I don't know how often that occurs elsewhere in the country, but these judges are essentially beyond any oversight. And very often, they have their own fiefdoms, literally their own private kingdoms. They make a ton of money. So I gather from the applause that many of you are familiar with these situations. Maybe you have been, in a sense, involved in them. I hear from my constituents all the time. We're carrying on this conversation at a very high level of abstraction. But the impact on lives, real world situations, is enormous. And I say that as a lawyer in Connecticut who has never handled a guardianship or conservatorship case. But I think we need to figure out a...
And just so we clear, the probate office handles guardianships too. Okay. Now, conservatorship, one that you may be familiar with, is Britney Spears. If you ain't hip to it, go look it up. She was getting robbed of her estate by her people, but the probate court is what helped set this up. So follow along.
Way to assure greater accountability in this system. And I think we need more information, but I don't need more information to have seen some of the ways that the probate courts or the other parts of the system operate. And you can all speak for your own states. Maybe Connecticut is an outlier. Maybe the rest of the system is perfect. And Connecticut is the one place in the universe where there have been these issues. But I wonder if you could comment on the quality of judging. I assume it's mostly judges who appoint these guardianships. I've always assumed it in other states as well. Judges who are elected, are they appointed? Do we know? What kind of oversight is there? Maybe you can, I realize these are all big questions, but maybe you can give us some feedback on it. And what is the quality? Most importantly, what is the quality of this decision-making?
Now, he asked some good questions. Hold on, y'all. So he asked, where is the oversight? Because as a lawyer, he knows what can be done. Now think about what they were saying in Georgia. In Douglas County, there was no cap set on the amount of fees that probate judge could get. If you are a person who lacks morals, or you are greedy, or whatever the case may be, imagine what you could do with that much power. You heard that man say you basically have your own kingdom. You can literally print money. You feel what I'm saying? Why would we want any elected official to be in that type of position? Why is that money, if it's a surplus of money, why is it not going to the county or the parish? Well, I'm sure we all could use some extra money. That don't make sense, right? So what I'm getting at is, I don't want to get too deep on y'all. Y'all know we covered the history, but what I will tell you is no coincidence that this office, which is attached to birth certificates, which is attached to death certificates in your estate as a whole, would make so much money off fees and controlling what comes in and out. Now, some people may have heard of something that they call a conspiracy theory with a straw man. And I'm not here to tell you whether it's right or wrong, but what I will tell you is it's definitely not a conspiracy theory. So it's mighty funny that this is going on in the probate office and it's a big kept secret. If you know type shit. Whole time though, I think this lady was only getting outed because she was being too flashy, too loud with it. We've been getting this money for a long time quietly, and here you come blowing up the spot. You feel what I'm saying? So this is why we need to be involved in politics locally. This lady was voted in. This is why we got to learn how to plan our state properly, because just passing away and not having nothing set up, not having our affairs in order, or the way in which we contract with these governments, this is the way that our ancestors was taken advantage of. So we got the internet now. We got ways to research and study. So it's on us to do our due diligence. But, you know, like always, I'm just a homeboy with the news, reporting, doing what I do, and trying to drop some game, man. So like always, y'all keep it positive. Y'all keep it pushing. And I'm out of here till next time, y'all. Peace.
Double S drifter, separate sipping, and you know I came with it if she cute with it.
Before things change, now I read the message you sent, trying to